The Dokubi's voice rang out. A group of low-grade Dokubis were looking down like they were watching a burning house. Byung's figure could also be seen. He whistled when he met my eyes. The Dokubi in the middle of the crowd slowly opened his mouth and spoke to all of Seoul.
Incarnations of Seoul, I have to tell you some unfortunate news. Unfortunately, due to the actions of some people, one of the disasters has woken up in Gongdang-gu.
The Dokubi smiled as he met my eyes. This bastard.
The sound of your sighs can be heard from here. I can see people who are already leaving Gangdong-gu. Everyone, you should listen to the end. You'll regret it later if you run away now. This disaster is definitely an opportunity for you.
Then the Dokubi spoke in a loud voice.
Haven't you all been having a hard time gathering coins? I know it all. Your life collapsed overnight, and now strange existences are taking your coins? The people who were friends yesterday are suddenly stabbing you today? I'm glad I'm not you. Right now, the stars in the skies are probably telling you, hey, shake your ass a little better, I'll give you 100 coins.
A handful of constellations are giggling and laughing. The Dokubi didn't laugh.
I understand that you feel like shit and hate these jerks. Since the world is destroyed, you just want to live the way you want. You're very courageous, but you feel a sense of helplessness when you realize the world is divided in two. You feel disappointed when you realize that your constellation, which was barely obtained after shaking your ass, is inferior to the constellation of a successful person. You feel angry about the unfulfilled world. I'm well aware. Some constellations oppose the Dokubi's speech.
Speaking of which, this Dokubi wasn't ordinary. A low-grade Dokubi with weak courage wouldn't be able to say this. Their channel would be ruined if there was a backlash in the constellations. But this was only for minority channels. The bigger the channel, the more different the Dokubi. They knew the laws of the story. They couldn't tell a big story if they were only obsessed with subscriptions. A true storyteller must deal with the person rather than the audience. I closely observed the Dokubi who was still talking.
I prepared something for you all. You who are unlucky, lucky, or worked hard, you have a chance to become someone overnight.
The pointed horn on the crown. The leg shone through the white cap looked like a one-legged crow. Wait a minute. Surely this bastard wasn't... Dokja? At this moment, a huge screen appeared in the air. A bleeding boy fleeing was shown on the screen.
Now, this boy you're seeing is an SSS grade item walking around. Are you looking at it from head to toe? His name is Myung-il-sang. He was fortunate enough to be picked by the star stream to go to another world. Can you imagine it? Imagine being summoned to another dimension, suddenly receiving a powerful strength, spending a hot night with a cute elf girlfriend, saving the world and being loved as a warrior. That's right. This damn guy's the disaster you have to catch today.
It was somewhat strange. I was wondering why a low-grade Dokubi replaced the position of an intermediate Dokubi. It was because he was the Dokubi of a major channel.
I can already hear your resentment. How the hell can you kill an SSS grade? There's no need to worry. This guy currently has a penalty on him. His powers are sealed. He is strong, but he's a treasure chest if you hit him all at once.
He's creepy. Hansung clicked her tongue. As a writer, she already grasped the Dokubi's intentions. If a disaster was called a disaster, no one would come. Then, what if a disaster was a treasure chest?
Your life hasn't been ruined yet. Rather, I can say that you have good luck. The sub-scenario that I offer now will be a great stepping stone to reverse your life. Now, the chance will be only for one day. Move quickly. Only those who move the quickest can become the owner of the SSS grade item.
As soon as they heard this, the incarnations scattered throughout Seoul would gather in Gongdong-gu. The sub-scenario has been updated. The sub-scenario, SSS grade hunt. Category, sub. Difficulty, B to unknown. Play conditions, get rid of the SSS grade Myung-il-sang. Time limit, none. Compensation, 50,000 coins. Unknown. Failure, the fall of Seoul Dome. The worst scenario was beginning. Perhaps due to the failure result of the scenario shining red in the air, the huge roar that's never been seen before seemed insignificant. Quickly find him before everyone dies.
Won't he be affected by probability?
The probability is offset to some extent by the interest of the constellations. This is why Dokubis preferred exciting scenarios. The stories that many constellations wanted offset the probabilities. Of course, it would be the responsibility of the Dokubis if it failed. But this situation was different. The eyes of many constellations are shining. If it went as Dokja planned, Seoul would end before the fifth scenario began. Hansung immediately used all her magic power to summon the avatars to search. 5 minutes passed before Hansung shouted, "I found him! He's 2 kilometers northwest from here." I ran along the road with Han Seung and soon heard voices. Over here! There he is! That brat went this way! There were already people flocking. Myung-il-sung was laughing as he was surrounded by a group of people. Huh, right. Here I am. You jerk. You having fun? I'm having a lot of fun. Hey, kill him! It was surprising to see so many humans with an inferiority complex. Myung-il-sung avoided the swords waving through the air and asked, What? Are you jealous and want me to send you there? What? You'll send me there? Of course. I'll send you. You really want to go, right? If I can go, then of course I want to go. It's better than this shitty world. Myung-il-sung nodded and extended his right arm towards the crowd. The 8th seal, the returnee, Myung-il-sung has been released. The 9th seal, the returnee, Myung-il-sung has been released. Then go well. Although, I have no idea if it's better there than here. What? The 12th seal, the returnee, Myung-il-sung has been released. The 13th seal, the returnee, Myung-il-sung has been released. The 14th seal, the returnee, Myung-il-sung has been released. I felt a sense of hopelessness as I watched the messages appearing in the sky. It was too late. Because that place, I destroyed it. The character, Myung-il-sung, has triggered small black fire cannon level 3. I grabbed Han Seung and rushed behind a building. A violet flash overturned the forest of buildings. Up to a half-dozen high-rise buildings were hit. An entire street disappeared. Those who ran towards him disintegrated, without leaving even bone dust behind. A single entity that could be a disaster. This was the real strength of returnee. Han Seung collapsed beside me. Crazy. How do we defeat that? This was real fear. It was a fear that caused our bodies to shake, rather than a skill. I spoke in an effort to resist it. We can win. Don't speak nonsense, let's go back. We can never kill that guy. No, I can catch him. We will be better off if I kill him now. The character Han Seung has used lie detection level 2. The character Han Seung has confirmed that the statement is true. Han Seung's eyes widened. Really? You couldn't kill him before? A person who thinks about only one thing. How can you live? I was only speaking a half-truth. In fact, the original plan was to defeat the disaster questions and build up a second narrative. The problem was that my plan was based on learning Way of the Wind. Does anyone else want to go to the other world? Raise your hands. I'll send you. People screamed and ran away. Myung-il-sung was getting closer. Then Yu Zhong's voice was heard from a translucent window. There's no chance if you fight him head on. I know, but I still have to try it. Why did you make the situation like this? What? You had many chances. You could have killed Li Solhua, or if you killed Antinous with Lycaon, you could have stopped the disaster. I couldn't give any excuses. I didn't kill Li Solhua because of Yu Zhongok. I didn't fight the Lycaon because I couldn't find a gap. I'm not an aggressor like you. I have to be careful in case of failure. If I don't think until the end, don't be so cocky. Do you think you're a consolation? Knowing the future doesn't mean you can control everything. I felt like someone punched me. Funnily enough, I thought Yu Zhong's words were right. The exclusive skill, Fourth Wall, is in use. It was arrogance from knowing the future. I thought I could somehow make it, even if the story was distorted. Maybe that led to the current situation. I want you to fight a little. I couldn't answer. Don't use having no talent as an excuse. Not having Way of the Wind doesn't mean you can't win. I can win? Yu Zhong was silent for a moment. The moment I was about to break the silence, Yu Zhong's voice continued. My attribute is pro gamer. What's yours? What? I'm asking, what can you do well? What could I do well? There was a ticking feeling somewhere deep in my head. I felt that I was missing something important, but there was no time to think. I found you! You haven't left yet! Myung-il-sung whistled as he rounded the corner. Han Seung groaned as I stepped back. Huh? The Hunters Association people from before? Myung-il-sung laughed. Great! I really wanted to meet you. Don't you know that my wonderful debut plans were ruined because of you? I was trying to live well, kill some S-grade incarnations, defeat the bad groups, and love the pretty Nunas. But what is this? I have completely become a villain. What should I do? I grasped my sword instead of answering. The stigma, Song of the Sword level 1, has been used. Your sword is filled with the words left by the Duke of Loyalty and Warfare. Today I am prepared for death. I pray to God in heaven, may I destroy the enemy. The Duke of Loyalty and Warfare's words recorded in his war diary. Fortunately, the Duke of Loyalty and Warfare took my side this time. The stigma, Song of the Sword, has been used. The decision to die has improved your fighting power. I squeezed out all my magic power at once. Blade of Faith is activated. The Blade of Faith burst out. I ran towards him. Myung-Sang's hands lightly struck the blade of faith. The splitting pain caused me to loosen my grip. It was only one blow, but I could clearly know it. The overall stats of Myung-Sang had already exceeded the limit of this scenario. What? You want to fight? Really? Did you just see me fighting? I looked at his laugh and was reminded of ways of survival. What could I do well? It was to read. Exclusive skill, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Stage 1 has been activated. Then I started to hear his movements. Right shoulder, left thigh. The strike still hit me despite me reading the moves. The fists surrounded by purple light ruthlessly pounded towards me. The belly, the belly, the belly, the belly. Blood poured from my mouth and my vision shook. I didn't give up. I thought and thought again. The character Myung-Sang admires your spirit. Your understanding of the character Myung-Sang has increased. The information contained in ways of survival alone couldn't beat him. It was different from when I hunted the Dark Keeper. I couldn't fight despite calculating everything. Strong, weak, midway up. Too much information poured in at once, causing my dizziness to worsen. This was despite borrowing the power of the stigma. At this rate, the battle would be over in no time. I wiped the blood in my mouth and backed away. Did I have to use the Ganpangui? I felt bitter that the last method I had was to borrow the power of a constellation. If I called a powerful constellation, I could probably win. However, it was a burden of the probability after the last incident. Most of all, I didn't like to owe the constellations. Damn. I wish I had talent. It'd be preferable if I could steal someone's talent. Wait. Steal? A dull shock filled my head. So far, my main weapon was information. However, there was so much information that I actually forgot some of them. Pathetic. Why the hell did I forget about this skill? Wasn't this the first thing I should have done? Exclusive skill bookmark can now be activated. Character bookmarks is activated. Available bookmark slots, 4. Bringing up the list of available bookmarks. People listed in the bookmark slots. 1. The Delusional Demon Kim Namun, understanding 35. 2. Steel Sword Lee Hyung-sung, understanding 75. 3. Demagogue Chung Ino, understanding 20. 4. Empty slot. There was no change apart from the one additional slot. I chose the empty slot. List of people who can be registered on the bookmarks. 1. Poisoner Lee Solhwa, understanding 10. 2. King of Beauty Min Jiwon, understanding 25. 3. Tyrant King Jung Yongho, understanding 10. 4. Hermit King of Shadows Hang Donghun, understanding 30. 5. The Prophet Anna Croft, understanding 1. 6. Armed Fortress Master Gong Pildu, understanding 30. As expected, Yuzhong's name wasn't on the list. The main character was the main character. Special conditions must be met before he was unlocked. In addition, people who weren't characters like Han Soo-young, Yu Sang-a, and Lee Gillian weren't on the list. It didn't matter. They weren't the people I needed right now. I scrolled for a bit and finally found the person I wanted. There he was. Why did I forget that he was also a character? I didn't hesitate to put him in the 4th bookmark. The level of the bookmark skill is low, shortening the activation time. Activation time, 30 minutes. Your understanding of the character is significant. You can select some of his skills to import. I chose a skill. The next moment, a silver storm emerged around my body. I felt the courage of a wolf nestle in me. Damn, I felt like a fool. What have I been trying to learn so far? I wasn't a regressor or a returnee. The character, Prince Lycan of the Immutar, has been registered on bookmark 4. The number 4 bookmark has been activated. I was a reader. Way the Wind level 8 has been activated. This is the way I fought.